Hi, I'm Esther and I'm a huge fan of Antoni from Queer Eye. I'm such a huge fan that I decided to buy his cookbook. And going through his cookbook, it does sort of seem like him. Like, there's a lot of pictures of him, and there's also very long descriptions and descriptions and text about feelings and flavors and situations, and that's so much like Antoni. You know, he is a pretty boy, and I really like how he loves describing like places and feelings and specific tastes. I know that the book was, I guess, co-written, but I thought it was very, very Antoni. So I thought buying a cookbook isn't very useful unless I cook from it. So I've decided to try out 4 different recipes from Antoni In The Kitchen and see how they go. I'm not a good cook, I'm not a bad cook, but I'm okay at following instructions. I also have the tools of a basic cook, so I feel like I would be a good representation of people in the kitchen that aren't experts and that might actually be buying Antoni In The Kitchen and trying out his recipes. So yeah, I'll give it a go for about 4 recipes and I'll show you how they go. I think my pot is too big. That's alright. We'll see. I'm not gonna lie, this doesn't look that good. So I'm just skimming all the stuff from up top and it's starting to look better. Before I think it was looking very depressing. So this is the state of my ramen egg. Looking a bit jelly-like. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have touched that. And it's time to assemble. So I've got my soup and my broth, got the noodles cooking, which I'm actually going to turn off now. And I've got some butter and miso paste. Antoni's directions are sort of like if you were heating this up, like you would mix this and this together in a separate bowl and then ladle the noodles into this and then put into that and then put the mixed like stuff in afterwards. But I already have my full stock prepared and I don't need to warm it up beforehand. So I'm just going to mix these two together, then put the noodles on, then put the egg and the garnish. So to be honest, this doesn't look too good, but the rest is, I think I put too much salt in this, so I tried to like put more water into it so that it was less salty. But I know that miso paste is also really salty. This is sesame oil, by the way. So my expectations are that this is going to be uber salty. Alright, moment of truth. I'm not expecting great things here actually. Oh, that's not bad, that's not bad. This one I am actually dreading a little bit. Oh my god, it's like globbed out. Oh well. Okay guys, this is my final result. It's not the cleanest plate, like my little dollop of I think miso paste here, but I think it looks really pretty. I think the ramen eggs look like they are a little bit profesh. This one looks pretty and this one looks pretty. This is the pooed up one. You can see over here that's a little bit lighter because of all the butter oil, but the most important part, does it taste nice? My first taste test. It just tastes like chicken noodle broth, like chicken soup is what I think it tastes like because it's mostly chicken broth. Like, it's not bad, but I can't really taste the pork that I cooked or like the ginger and the garlic that it was added in. Yeah, it just tastes like chicken stock to me, really. Like, I'll eat it, but it's not like, this is awesome, this is amazing. So the next thing that I'm going to make are his pork chops, and they have to be made overnight or marinated overnight. So I'm just prepping them now. I have just realised that I have not bought bone-in chops. I'm also making this recipe halved because I can't eat 4 pork chops, but I can eat 2. Okay, I've sort of run into my first problem. I don't know how to score the fat of these pork chops, because there's this tough skin on top and I don't know how to cut through that. I also couldn't find fresh oregano, so I'm just going to use the dried kind. Okay, this is the final result. I'm going to pop it in the fridge and then see how it goes tomorrow. Okay, so I have found out that Antoni wants me to put the pork chops in a pan to fry them first and then put them in the oven, but I don't have that time or patience. I'm tired from work and I don't want to clean 2 pans and pots if I don't need to, so I'm just going to try to chuck them in the oven and see what happens. Very interesting. So I am looking like poo in my kitchen again, and yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by the prosciutto date thing that Antoni had. I thought it wouldn't work because I was eating the blue cheese and like scraps of prosciutto, and I was like, this is so overwhelmingly salty, this is not going to taste good. But that date worked. It was great. Now I'm in the midst of cooking his Moroccan lamb bolognese sauce. I've been putting it off for weeks because it takes 3 hours to cook, and I never had a spare 3 hours, aka sometimes I take naps and then when I wake up I'd be so hungry that I didn't want to cook for 3 hours. But I've decided to do it this time. I've bought food that I can eat while I wait for my sauce to cook. It's a Monday night, so I'm doing this after work, and yeah, this is how it's going. So this is really in the beginning stages of the sauce. I have realised that I don't have cinnamon, so it's not going to be a very cinnamony sweet sauce. Wow! So after like going through the pantry and like getting a chair to look through all the pantry, and I couldn't find any cinnamon, I magically found some, like the last few pinches of cinnamon, like sitting right in front of me on a pantry shelf. So I used it, and now we're gonna make the recipe in its fullness. So I've just added the wine. I'll show you what it looks like right now. So it's got wine and milk in it right now, and it is bubbling away. I think I have to do this until most of the wine has evaporated, apparently. Yeah, so it's been a week of eating Antoni in the kitchen, and I have to say I'm pleasantly surprised, because the chicken ramen, even though I started off not being a fan of it, I froze half of it, and I think the more time that the soup had, or the broth had, to like marinate together or marry together, it got better, and I actually started to look forward to eating the ramen and the noodles together. It was really nice. So even though I said it wasn't something that I'd make again, I think I would actually make it again. It was really easy, and freezing it was like so good, like after work. so convenient that I already had soup and I can make ramen so quickly. The pork chops, that is probably something I won't make again. This is what I find with pork chops, is that they're quite dry. He did want for you to cook it in a pan first and then put it in the oven, but I ain't about that cleaning life, so I just put it in the oven. So maybe if I'd done it that way it would have been better, but yeah, I didn't really feel like it was worth it. The carbonara, not the carbonara, the bolognese. The bolognese was, it was okay. I'm not really a fan of pasta. This sauce that I made, I think you saw that I burnt it like halfway through the 3-hour cooking process, so maybe didn't have time to really stew, because you know, time is the best ingredient. So yeah, I ate 2 portions of it, and I think I only liked it because I smothered it with Japanese mayo and cheese. I have half of it actually still frozen in my freezer, so maybe one day when I'm like craving pasta or something, I'll go there. And yeah, I was so surprised by the date, the prosciutto wrapped dates. However, I was reading a book and the main character, was preparing prosciutto wrapped dates. So I'm like, is this like a classic dish? Because I'd never heard of it before, and my flatmates had never heard of it before when I was giving it to them to try. And yet it was in this old book, so it must be some sort of classic American maybe recipe or something. And yeah, that was my week of Antoni in the Kitchen. Or not really week, I think there was about 4 meals of Antoni's in the Kitchen. And there's definitely some recipes that I would like to keep. What I also found about Antoni's book is that a lot of the ingredients, in New Zealand anyway, are seasonal. I think in America, a lot of these vegetables are like year long just because of GMO, and maybe just because of the area they are in the world. But in New Zealand, we don't really have, it's very seasonal. Like sweet potatoes, they can be really expensive during the summer. And yeah, I think that we're very based on seasonal things, and I'm not going to shell out, triple the price of a vegetable when it used to be like a lot cheaper. I think with America, their prices must be a little bit more stable for them to be able to afford some of the fruits and vegetables year round. And a lot of them, very Americanized. Like, I can't find butternut squash year round, I don't think. I can't find fresh fennel. I've never seen fresh fennel in New Zealand. I think he really focuses on quality and fresh ingredients to make his dishes nice for some of it. Like a lot of it's like salads and good food. But for me, who I'm a little bit of a budget queen, because it's just me, so I don't want to spend hundreds of dollars on meals, it can be a bit overwhelming on the grocery bill. But yeah, I like to cheap out on food if I can, as in buy seasonally, and I'm not going to buy fruits and veg that is too expensive. So yeah, that is my review of Antoni in the Kitchen and how I went with trying some of his more famous recipes. And let me know if you've tried something from the book that you thought was amazing and that I missed out and that I should have given a go. Thanks for watching, and I actually have a blog. It's called MissEstherZ.com. It's probably in the description box down below. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye!